Hey, you've seen him in Coming to America, Rent, and Fame. But now he's here with us to tell his own story. Let's get to it. Before hashtags, before TikTok choreography and viral dance offs, there were artists like Shaun Earl, artists who didn't chase the spotlight but built it. You may not know his name offhand, but if you watched Fame, laughed at Mad TV, sung along to Rent, or lost yourself in Coming to America or The Bodyguard, you've seen his work. You felt his rhythm. He's what we call a triple threat. From LA stages to Tokyo classrooms, from background dancer to soul forward storyteller. We sit down with a man who's danced with legends, but more importantly, he became one. I'm so excited, ladies and gentlemen. So I would like for you to welcome with me Mr. Shaun Earl. Welcome to Abe Clark's world, Shaun.
It's a pleasure.
What was it like dancing on Soul Train? And what year was that?
I think it was like 81, 82-ish, if I believe. I know I was starting my 12th grade year of high school, and it was during my 12th grade year of high school as well. It was actually, I was raised. If I never intended on becoming a dancer, because it wasn't like something that was tangible, other than if you were on a variety show or you saw ballet dancers. So as far as dancing goes, that was where I got my vernacular of movement, because I've been watching Soul Train since I was in elementary school, and I would just stand in front. From Demeter Joe Freeman to Pat to Cheryl Song and Abe and Bobcat and I learned movement from all of them, from Robot. That was just my diary of movement. And that was like nothing where I went to clubs. I wasn't old enough to do any of that. But for me, that was dancing. So to make friends with Bobcat, because at that time I was in a company randomly called Repertory Dance Theater of LA, and he got included. He brought my friend Lisa Ross and I onto the show, and we got to do the risers, we got to do the whole thing, and it was surreal because that is literally on my bucket list, but that was something that would have never manifested, because how could that ever happen? So like majorly a major pinnacle in my career while being paid chicken and 2 Springfield sodas, providing my own costumes and doing it all on the weekend. It was everything, especially when you got to a point where people recognize you and they're like, you dance on Soul Train? You're like, yeah, I dance on Soul Train. People recognized me from that show, and it was crazy in my 12th grade year of high school.
I heard that Wayne Brady was one of the last choreography jobs that you did.
Yes.
What was that like? It was for his 40th anniversary?
Yeah, for Let's Make a Deal, because he hosts the show. Well, first of all, I'm not, in my mind, known as a choreographer. Like, I think it's assumed because of me being a dancer and having a dance career, and then I go to Japan to teach a lot, or whatever. But I'm more of a closeted choreographer. Like, if you knew me because I've been your friend, like my friend Stacey Evans, she was on the Parkers. And so she's known me since high school. So she's like, I wrote an episode, and it's a church episode, and it's a choir competition, and you're choreographing. So I don't care what you say. Come on to the set. You'll be in it. So I'm like, I've usually been forced. But Wayne Brady, I know him because he's part of the Rent family, actually.
Okay.
That's how I met him. And
what did he play in Rent?
He played Collins later, because he's a star now, and they always do an event at the Hollywood Bowl where they get stars to do musicals. They had Nicole Scherzinger play Maureen, they had him play Collins, and that whole thing. So that was how I got to officially meet him. He would have been my Collins years ago, but he took Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Okay.
And blew up. But he was kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So he would have been my leading man when I
So
played
talented.
Angel. So then for me to finally meet him, I'm like, you would have been my boyfriend. Right. So that was how we met. We've been in touch since. So it was just random. I was on my way to see Beyonce, but we're going to do it in Vegas because we had a connection there through the Wynn Hotel to just kind of have great seats and the whole thing. So he's texting me saying, I want you to choreograph the 40th anniversary for Let's Make a Deal. And I'm like, why do he think I'm a choreographer? Like, what? And so my spirit, not my spirit, but my mind automatically says no. Like, I want to say no because I don't want the responsibility. But my spirit said, Shaun, stop it. Say yes, find out what it is. Because I was on my way to Japan after that. So it was like a small window of when I could do it. So first I threw in the excuse of Japan and how much time I had, but it fit in perfectly for me to have rehearsal and do all the things and then leave for Japan a couple of days later. So I gave in to it. I surrendered. I was able to cast the dancers because he was like, whoever you want to use, we want 4 girls, blah, 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 blah. It's very 80s rock and roll. He's going to sing something and do the whole thing. So then I was able to cast, when I was on the hotel, dancers that I knew. He liked the pictures that I sent and he sent me the music and it was fair game. And the music was 80s kind of rock. So you kind of can put yourself into the thrashing, however they're going to dance for it. So I was able to visualize it, not sure like what parts were choreographed, what parts weren't. But then the safety part of me, because of working on TV and film anyway, was to kind of have a journey throughout. So I did it as a safety net. And then when he finally talked to me when I got back home, he wanted it to be inclusive with him in the whole song. So I was glad that I did that in my head. And then we had rehearsals here for 2 days. And we went on the set and it was just weird because I'm used to having a dressing room and not having responsibility. Right. And now I'm like following the camera and the director and having this and have them come through the hallway. And it was like inside looking in or outside myself looking in. I'm like totally playing the role of choreographer. You know, like I'm hanging out with the director and with Wayne and discussing shots and angles. So we did that and it was a success. They made like a video and it was like the opening number for it. But I'm not.
Can I get like little clips of that?
Yeah, I think I saved it on my phone somewhere because, it's not like a rerun show in the sense that it's every day. But I think once a year they do a prime time. They do it at night and the prizes are bigger, more expensive and, bigger cars, whatever. And so it was like a little thing that came out last year, I think, whatever, yeah. But that was my little choreography moment, my last one.
Little choreography moment. All right.
Here we go.
You danced on Fame for nearly 50 episodes. What did the series represent to you as a young artist, and how did it shape your rhythm off screen? Okay, Fame for me, it's kind of a twofold situation because, like I explained earlier, I never intended on becoming a dancer because there wasn't a platform for us. But then later videos came out and then the film came out. Even when I watched the film, I struggled with if I was in the performing arts high school, would I choose singing or acting? Because still the dancing was lyrical. Leroy, when he did his audition, made it soulful and hold the Wicked moment. But doing all this, and that wasn't something that was in my soul, and it showed more of a modern base ballet. So it was more singing and acting. But then they had the Fame audition when they were already in production. So John Johnson, when I was with the Repertory Dance Theater of LA, where he was trying to form it, and it was back then no agencies. You can look on the Drama Log or whatever and just go to cattle calls. I randomly went because he brought all of us to experience an audition. And I ended up getting it. I can still do part of the routine. I remember learning the jazz routine. So Michael De Lorenzo assisted and Stephanie Williams assisted. And they were in there filming and doing the whole thing of production. We were on the MGM lot and the whole thing. So they kept me to the end and I was on file for if they needed more dancers or if one of the dancers left from New York and went back home. It was just, I was on file. But then once it aired when I was in my 12th grade year of high school, I'm like, ooh, they better not call me, because now you're looking at the high school performing arts and you're seeing something that didn't align with my life because I wasn't trained that way. I had never been to a school like that. So I'm like, what if they asked me to do a ballet number or whatever kind of number? I'm not trained in anything. I just copy. So the last episode of the first season, Derek Bryce, I think, had another job, and Debbie Allen personally called my house. And my grandmother answered, and she said that she might have an episode for me. It's the last episode, and checked my availability. I was rehearsing The Wiz in high school, and Karen White was our Dorothy. So I wasn't home to retrieve the call. Debbie Allen called again to confirm that it was going to happen and asked where I was again. And my grandmother said, oh, he's at school. She's like, how old is Shaun? She's like, he just turned 17 in October. She's like, he was supposed to be 18 at the audition. And my grandmother's like, oh, I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't mess up anything. She's like, oh, just tell him to come to rehearsal at such and such a time. So I came. So Debbie got my foot in the door and let me taste the television atmosphere in the set. I learned a number that was kind of like a hot lunch scene that Michael De Lorenzo taught me a little solo. It was kind of staged to look like it was spontaneous. And then I learned a dance class routine, like a jazz routine. And so I did that. I did school for a week. And now knowing how much of a risk she took, because I'm not of age, you're supposed to have a parent on the set, you're supposed to have a tutor, all the things. I didn't know any of that. But I definitely thank Debbie Allen because I got to taste it, to say, oh, this is something that I want to do. And it was a fun time. But then fast forward to graduating high school and then wanting to full on attack the industry. Fame was still on because Earth and all of them were on season 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then Debbie Allen wanted to now start producing and directing and didn't want to choreograph anymore. So she tossed the baton to Jaime Rogers. And Jaime Rogers had a big audition. And I was tossing in my spirit whether I should go or not, hating auditions. And now I'm a little trained because I took twice a week from Doug Caldwell.
A friend of mine.
Yes, so I was thinking, I'm trained now. I take twice a week, not knowing that people take 5 classes a week. So I did the audition, got the call back, and I got the job. So now I'm like feeling like Milli Vanilli of dance because I'm a little trained, but now I'm like in the high school performing arts. So it really felt like that part of my life for the 2 years was me learning all types of dance in the high school performing arts. Because when I graduated, I felt like I graduated. After the season ended, both seasons, I did 2 seasons, the last 2 seasons. I was like, I've learned everything from African to tap to ballet to jazz to modern, and then working with Jaime Rogers, who is known as one of the hardest choreographers. Like, it was the boot camp of life. And I was able to attack anything from that point on. And I did.
Mr. Shaun,
This
next question. Let's see what
I'll
you
read
got here.
question number 2. You've worked alongside legends from Vanessa Williams to Whitney, from Paula Abdul to Beyonce to Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. What did you learn by simply being on those sets? Well, some are videos, some are movies. By then, I was already on a roll and I was already camera mature in the sense because I worked on Fame for 2 years. And what I can give credit to when it comes to camera is Jaime Rogers. Watching the likes of you and Cheryl on Soul Train, where you knew the camera was there, but you were acting like you're in your own world, versus someone that plays the camera and doing videos. Like, there were 2 different levels of that. And a lot of times Jaime would choreograph for the Steadicam. So we had to focus on him because he would create a scenario where we're crossing the camera and then the dice rolls and the foot comes in and then Debbie lifts her leg and then turns her. So we had all that stuff where it was all angled towards him. And he was intimidating to a lot of people, but because he was like a little Tasmanian devil to me, as much as people were supposed to be scared of him, he cracked me up. And he was confused that I didn't show fear. But at the same time, I gave him 150%. And I would break him down, not knowing that I was breaking him down, because I'm thinking we're all doing a TV show. It's supposed to be fun. So I like having fun and setting the tone of fun, but he didn't think you can have fun at the same time because he was old school.
Right.
So I think I taught him that because he saw that I still gave 150% while giving all that and then still doing good.
Mm-hmm.
So I would break him down because if he was camera and he's giving me my steps, I was working him as a camera, and he would like laugh while he was trying to do that person, whatever, to do it. But being conscious of camera and angles, that was what he taught just because that's how he rehearsed this and shot. So by the time I was on these other shows and movies, it was just already a platform was set for me. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just, of course, you want the check because it's great to work. But out of all those, like Coming to America was a fun process because it was the first time I worked with Paul Abdul, who choreographed. But it was all of us. It was an audition with all of us. And then all of us were working. And it was like almost a month gig. So that was, I think, you know, you can learn in school, which I didn't have that. So I think my adaptability, like if you choreographed, I don't have a studio that I had to break a habit from. I didn't take from Jackie Slate all these other people to then be a studio dancer when I come to you. So whatever you're doing, if you literally did your style, the fun part for me was to emulate your style. So I didn't have to break a habit. I only, if it was Jeffrey Hornaday, I was like shoulder up, clunk. I pretend that my hair was like this. I had my boots on. Like I can emulate all that because of what you're giving me. So that is how I got jobs beyond the people that were trained and that were studio dancers, because I only could emulate you. So from all these people that I work with, it was fun to emulate everyone specifically, because when you get on the set, it's a whole different story. So
your dance was more like sort of in a make-believe world type of world in your mind.
You know, I'm like, it's really happening. I used to play like this, and I'm really going to a rehearsal. I really did. You know what I mean? Like, it was really cinematic for me because I would imitate that as an only child. And now I'm like, really, like, this is really happening. I'm on a set, I have to go to work.
Right.
But Paula Abdul having Coming to America, it was controversial in itself because, of course, she's an Abdul, so no one knew what she was. Right. But when you can have Otis Salih, Debbie Allen, all these people choreograph an African sequence to Coming to America, people kind of have their noses turned up anyway, because it's like, who is she to be choreographing for African? But her style and what John Landis knew of it, he wanted it to be amped because of the comedy of it and more showcase, not so authentic.
Right.
You know what I mean? They wanted the essence of her style and the African part of it.
Commercialize it.
So he wanted the epitome of what she represents because of her formations and the cheerleading, all that stuff that she brings to it on top of the steps.
Right.
So it wasn't like something that was like at home. I was good at imitating. So it felt good learning the steps, but it was like her cleaning, like she's Miss Cleany, clean in rehearsals. And because we all had to be the same and it was a big deal for her, like our cleaning process was 2 at a time.
Oh my God.
I was with Sharon Farrell. We were the partners and we had to do the whole routine together while people watched and they're like giving you. So like it was tedious, but the steps were fun. My thing with that was scary because I'm not a naked boy. And I overheard John Landis in rehearsals. Someone said, so what are the guys wearing? He was like, oh, G-strings, of course. I want the asses out. And I'm like, that messed me up. Because we're like squat. We're like, everything was open. I'm like, my booty's gonna show. Like I was scared for that. But it was something I heard quietly. And then later we were in diapers, which was still like a lot of exposure because it was diapers and this, but our booties weren't out, you know, whatever. But that was fun. Whitney was Bodyguard. And for me, like to this day, it's like, don't nobody talk about Whitney Houston. Like that is like my voice of all voices. Like when she did You Give Good Love, I was like exiting my home on Coldwater Canyon and that video came on. And it was like, ooh, ooh. And I was just stuck until the end. And I was attracted. I knew she knew her little bits. I was like, she knows herself, the details, whatever, all that. So to build up to then come and be on the set with her for that, it was fun to just actually play with her and talk to her because it was a scene, we were doing the awards. So Anita Whitaker actually sings her song, Don't Make Me Close When My Door. Just had someone else singing her song for the awards because that song was up for the award for
In the
her.
movie.
Yeah, in the movie. So we were the award dancers and the dips and the tuxedos. But then we had her backstage because she's coming backstage to read from the teleprompter for, I think, the assassination scene or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of time to spend with her. So I got to ask her questions and talk. Plus, I keep forgetting when I met the stars that I was so visual because of the music videos that I did, that they already kind of knew me when I'm thinking I'm introducing myself to them. She's like, hey, baby. And she was always, hey, baby, how you doing? She was always personable. But this time I got to like just feel like I broke bread with her and had intimacy with her. You know what I mean? It was fun. So it's like not learning necessarily, but just having my time with her because she was very personable. She's very fun and real and down to earth. You know what I mean? So that was just a pleasure. And coming to America, I didn't get to play with Eddie Murphy or anything, more Arsenio. But it was definitely like long rehearsals, and then we shot it in our diapers for a few days, and then it was done. You know what I mean? I forgot the other names we mentioned, but Paula Abdul is 2 because she choreographed Coming to America, but then she, in that time span, was recording her album.
Right.
And we knew about it. It was like a hush hush, kind of like she's working on a project. But because I sang back up on Karen White's album, and we were working with Babyface in LA, I even went with Karen White to meet Babyface in LA because they sought after her because they liked her tone when she did Facts of Love with Jeff Lorber. So I met her at the time, met them at the same time with her. So they let us hear Knocked Out. We didn't know that was going to be her first single, but that was Paula Abdul's.
Wow, which is
song.
a great record.
It was a great record. So once I got a little comfortable after our rehearsal process on Coming to America, we were sitting next to each other, and I was like, "You got me knocked out, and me." Oh, and she's like, "What are you doing? How do you know?" Because everything was such a secret. And she's like, I was like, "Babyface in LA, let me hear it." I work with Karen White. I've done some session work with her. She's like, "Oh my God." You know what I mean? So that was something that was like a big deal. And then when the song ended up being the first single, she wanted to have the best dancers and have a big extravaganza of dancers. So she chose me as one of her dancers for it. And we filmed it on the, was it where Soul Train was filmed?
Oh, in KTLA.
No, the one before that. On La Brea. On the corner of that space.
That's
where A&M used to be,
right.
or whatever. That's where we filmed on that soundstage.
Okay.
So that was my first time working with her as an artist, not as the Coming to America person. Then she started touring and doing like all the promotional dates for her album. And I replaced my friend Art Palmer, who left her for Stephanie Mills because it was more consistent and we didn't know where her career was going to go. So I helped build the arc. And then Straight Up was released and all the things happened. But I did that whole probably a year of her and all the TV shows in Japan and going to London.
Wow.
So that's fun for me because, you know, when you do the big concert tours, that's great. But it's more intimate when you're working with them for the promotional stuff because it was just myself, Aurora, Cindy, and Sean Cheeseman. And then the guys kind of changed. Sean Cheeseman, we were Sean 1 and Sean 2. But, and then choreographically speaking, it was assumed because she's a choreographer that she always choreographed. But because we had to do a lot of radio performances, we had to put our own show together. And at that time, she was feeling like she gave all of her steps to Janet because everything that she meant and what her style was from Laker Girls to Janet was that. Right. So sometimes she had moments of like, you guys, I have nothing, like, can you guys make up 8/8s and bring it back tomorrow or whatever? So we were putting the shows together that we never knew would be seen publicly necessarily because we were always doing those shows for the radio stations when all the artists come together. But then when the video started happening, she started transferring some of the steps that we put together onto the video. So it's just assumed that she choreographed when I'm looking at my choreography.
Right.
Sean Cheeseman really sought after that as a career. I was just... Jaime had me choreograph for him on Fame. Like I just was never pursuing it, but they knew that I could make up steps and do something for a section. So I still see my choreography that I'm not trying to claim because I'm not really aggressively trying to be a choreographer, but she used my stuff from Straight Up that transferred from the live version. I think
Sean did Bad with Us.
Yes, he did.
He
did Bad with Us, yeah. He, in New York, before he came out here.
Right.
He tried to come out here like, I'm in New York. I'm like, you're from Canada. but he tried to act like he had that edge.
Right.
And we're phony people from like LA, you know,
Right.
like LA people. He tried to have his little chip on his shoulder, but he became like he was like a brother.
Right.
Such a fun brother. But yeah, so it was twofold with Paula because it was coming to America, and then I toured with her. And then when they found out I could sing, I did Forever Your Girl with her, and I did Opposites Attract with her on the road. So I got to do the vocals and stuff on the road, and did that on the Apollo as well. It was kind of fun to use both.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Absolutely.
people just thought I danced when that was the least of my talent.
Right.
I
Especially
never
when
thought
you
I'd be a
start out,
dancer.
right? You
I never thought but that's what got my foot in the door, ironically.
Right. If someone wrote a script called Shaun Earl, what would the last line be?
The last line would be, Shaun Earl truly enjoyed the process.
Today's sponsor is Box Chicken. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers, to all the new viewers for liking and subscribing to the channel. I really, really, really appreciate it. I promised you I would bring you more content like this, and I will continue to do that. Again, thank you for subscribing to the channel, and Box Chicken, thank you for your sponsorship.
Talk to me. Come on over to Snack and Chat. Come on over to Snack and Chat. Snack and Chat. Snack and Chat.
All right, Shaun.
Little cha-cha. I heard you're a good cha-cha.
I can cha-cha.
And you can step pivot. We'll go 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Other side. Step pivot, and then do this. H.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
All right, don't embarrass me. Here we go.
5, 6, 7, 8.
All right. Thank you so much for checking in with us again, and I will see you next time on A. Clark's World. All right.
I'm gonna let it stop, 'cause I'm living my best life, yeah. Make it sound. Get back on the dance floor.
Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel.